Welcome back to Pro Caitlin TV, the home of the biggest Caitlin Clark stories, WNBA debates, fan reactions, and viral basketball discussions. Today's topic has the entire women's basketball world talking. A recent conversation involving Skylar Diggins has sparked a brand new debate about Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and the challenges that come with being the biggest star in the league. Fans are divided, analysts are weighing in, and social media is absolutely exploding with opinions. Some people think important questions are finally being asked, while others believe the situation is being blown completely out of proportion. Either way, this story has taken on a life of its own, and what happened next surprised almost everyone. Sometimes a single comment can completely change the direction of a conversation. Not because the comment itself is shocking, but because it touches on concerns that fans have already been discussing for months. That's exactly what happened when basketball fans began connecting recent discussions involving Skylar Diggins to the ongoing debate surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Almost immediately, social media exploded. Fans started sharing clips. Sports shows began analyzing every detail. Comment sections filled with arguments. And suddenly, people weren't just discussing wins and losses anymore. They were discussing leadership, team chemistry, player development, and whether Caitlin Clark is being put in the best possible position to succeed. The reactions became impossible to ignore. Some fans claimed that long-standing concerns were finally getting attention. Others argued that people were creating drama where none existed. But then more discussions surfaced. More opinions emerged. And the conversation became bigger than anyone expected. Because this wasn't just about one player. It wasn't just about one team. It was about one of the biggest stars in sports and the future of an entire franchise. And that's where things started getting really interesting. To understand why this debate gained so much attention, we first need to look at the unique situation surrounding Caitlin Clark. Very few athletes enter a professional league carrying the level of attention that Clark brought into the WNBA. Before she ever played a game for Indiana, she was already one of the most recognizable names in basketball. Millions of fans followed her college career. Television ratings skyrocketed whenever she played. A new audience began paying attention to women's basketball. With that popularity came enormous expectations. People expected immediate success. They expected highlight plays. They expected victories. And perhaps most importantly, they expected Clark to transform the Fever into a contender. But professional basketball isn't always that simple. Every rookie faces an adjustment period. The speed is different. The physicality is different. The defenses are smarter. The pressure is greater. Clark quickly learned that every opponent viewed games against her differently. She wasn't just another rookie. She was the player everyone wanted to stop. As the season progressed, fans began closely examining every aspect of Indiana's performance. Whenever the Fever struggled offensively, discussions immediately appeared online. Whenever Clark had a difficult game, debates erupted. Whenever she played well but the team lost, people searched for explanations. This constant scrutiny created an environment where every detail mattered. Fans began analyzing coaching decisions, rotations, offensive systems, player chemistry, and overall team strategy. At the same time, national media continued focusing on Clark's impact. Attendance records were being discussed. Television ratings remained strong. Interest in the league continued growing. Many fans felt Clark was carrying extraordinary expectations while simultaneously adapting to the professional level. That perception fueled countless conversations. Some supporters argued she needed more help. Others believed patience was necessary because building a successful team takes time. Then discussions connected to Skylar Diggins entered the picture. Fans began comparing situations, comparing experiences, comparing leadership styles, and comparing how star players are supported within organizations. Whether those comparisons were fair or not became another major debate. Social media users posted clips and opinions. Podcasts discussed possible interpretations. Sports commentators offered different perspectives. Before long, the conversation expanded far beyond basketball statistics. It became a discussion about organizational support, player development, and the responsibilities that come with managing a superstar athlete. The fascinating part was that different people looked at the same situation and reached completely different conclusions. One group saw evidence that Clark wasn't receiving enough support. Another group believed the Fever were handling a difficult situation as well as possible. A third group thought fans were overreacting entirely. The disagreement itself became part of the story. And as more voices joined the conversation, the tension only continued growing. But the biggest reactions were still yet to come. As the debate intensified, fans started doing something that has become increasingly common in modern sports. They became investigators. Every interview was examined. Every quote was analyzed. Every game was reviewed. Supporters searched for clues that supported their arguments. Critics searched for evidence that challenged them. The result was a non-stop cycle of discussion. One of the biggest talking points involved expectations. Many fans argued that Clark was being judged differently than most players. Every mistake became a headline. Every success sparked national attention. The spotlight never seemed to disappear. That reality generated sympathy from some observers. Others responded by pointing out that superstars often face unique levels of scrutiny. The larger the platform, the greater the attention. Meanwhile, media personalities continued discussing Clark's influence on the league. Some praised her ability to attract new audiences. Others focused on the pressure that comes with being the face of a growing movement. Those conversations naturally led back to Indiana. Could the Fever successfully navigate all this attention? Could they balance long-term development with immediate expectations? Could they create an environment where Clark could thrive? Fans debated those questions daily, and every new game seemed to add fresh fuel to the discussion. Certain victories led supporters to argue that progress was obvious. Certain losses triggered renewed criticism. Nothing seemed capable of ending the conversation. What made the situation especially emotional was the investment fans had in Clark's journey. Many people had watched her rise from college sensation to professional star. They felt connected to her story. They wanted to see her succeed. That emotional connection amplified every discussion. At times, the reactions became incredibly intense. Social media platforms filled with competing narratives. Some users argued that Indiana needed to make adjustments. Others insisted that chemistry simply takes time. Neither side appeared willing to back down. The debate had become larger than basketball. It was now about perception, expectation, pressure. and the challenge of managing one of the most closely watched athletes in sports. Yet through all the noise, one reality remained unchanged. The games still had to be played. The team still had to improve. The season still had to unfold. And that reality set the stage for the most important question of all. What happens next? The reason this story continues to attract attention is simple. Nobody knows how it will end. That's what makes it so compelling. The Indiana Fever are still building. Caitlin Clark is still developing. The season is still unfolding. Every game creates new possibilities. Every performance changes the narrative. Every victory or defeat influences public opinion. For Clark, the future remains filled with opportunity. Her talent is undeniable. Her impact on the sport is undeniable. Her popularity is undeniable. The challenge is transforming potential into long-term success. That process rarely happens overnight. Many legendary athletes faced obstacles early in their careers. Many successful teams experienced growing pains before reaching their goals. Fans understand that. But patience becomes difficult when expectations are so high. That's why conversations surrounding Clark continue generating massive engagement. People care about the outcome. They want answers. They want progress. They want to know whether Indiana can become a championship contender. Some analysts believe the foundation is already in place. Others think additional adjustments may be necessary. Either way, the spotlight isn't going anywhere. The Fever remain one of the most discussed teams in the league. Clark remains one of the most discussed athletes in sports. And every new development creates another wave of reactions. Perhaps the most interesting part is that the strongest opinions often come from people who genuinely want success. Fans who criticize certain decisions often believe they're defending Clark. Fans who defend the organization often believe they're protecting the team's long-term future. Different perspectives, different conclusions, but often the same underlying goal: success. As the season continues, the answers will emerge on the court. Not in comment sections, not on social media, not through endless debates. The truth will reveal itself through games, results, growth, and performance. Until then, discussions will continue, opinions will continue, and the spotlight surrounding Caitlin Clark will remain brighter than ever. Because whether people love her, criticize her, support her, or doubt her, one thing is clear: everyone is watching. And that means the next chapter of the story could be even bigger than the last. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about the ongoing discussion surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Do you believe the team is moving in the right direction? Do you think fans are overreacting? Or do you believe some concerns deserve more attention? Let us know in the comments below, because we read your opinions and love hearing different perspectives from basketball fans around the world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Caitlin Clark news, Indiana Fever updates, WNBA discussions, fan reactions, and trending sports stories. Your support helps Pro Caitlin TV continue bringing you the biggest conversations from the world of women's basketball. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video right here on Pro Caitlin TV.